Good morning. It's Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's time for Soulful Self-Love Sunday. I'm just going to wait a few minutes for people to get a chance to hop on, and then we will have a chance to dive into self-care, the importance of self-care, and all the aspects of self-care. So if you didn't join me last week, you can know that, hi Deepa, I'm Cheryl Rozovsky, and I am passionate about self-care. Or self-love and self-care actually, and it has impacted my life hugely. So today I've made a commitment to dive in every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Hi Deepa, and hi Joe, and to discuss different aspects of self-love and the importance of self-love in our lives, moving through our lives, and how important it is to follow each of the aspects. So today we're going to dive into self-care, and I'd love to ask you maybe to start off with if you have any particular self-care habits that you would like to share. I know that for me, self-care is such an essential part of my day, and I start off my day in the morning with different habitual practices that help me align with my morning and therefore my day. So there's different parts of self-care, and I like to look at it as mind, body, and spirit. And a lot of the people, deal with primarily physical activity and exercise and nutrition. Those are two really important, large categories in self-care. But there's a lot more that are equally important, if not more important in my mind, which is emotional self-care. As someone who lives with a mental health challenge, emotional self-care and, making sure we manage our emotions and our mind is critical for getting through the day in a healthy, loving, and successful way. My self-care is quite non-existent. Really? Okay, but that's surprising. So is it something that you're just unaware of, Deepa, that you have a practice, or you just do things lovingly to yourself on a regular basis? Or, is it something you're not conscious of? For me, it's setting in place habits from the minute I wake up to, for example, for me, the minute I wake up, I notice an intention of gratitude, for the day, for my body, for my bed, for the sleep that I've had. I notice a connection to something higher than myself. For me, I use the word source. You can use the word God. You can use the word, whatever word works for you. For me, I envision myself connected to something higher to start me throughout my day. And then I start with, with water, mostly water with lemon. And before I have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, I'm not making as much time for it as I should. Well, yeah, I think that it is definitely something that we create, Deepa, as a habit. It's something, I took a great course. I was gifted a course last year by Elena Lipson, and it's a 66 habits, I think they're self-care habits, and they were amazing habits and understanding rituals of how we start our day. Like, for me, it's such a critical way, like how you start your day. Even with your thoughts, like, are you going to thought like, oh, I have to get out of bed today? Or, oh, I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm getting out of bed. I'm so grateful that I'm alive. I have something to offer. I have people in my life that love me. I have a job. For some of us, we're entrepreneurs, or we have work. So being grateful for me is like one of the most strongest ways to start my day and end my day. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that we can do for self-care, and definitely creating habits. I would say I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but there is a very popular book on habits and the importance of creating habits, and that habits actually create the success of your life. And so setting your intention for your day can have an impact on the rest of your day, and putting in place habits that help you and support you can actually shift your entire day and your productivity and your success. For me, one of the things that I do, I'm going to put a shameless plug here for a close friend of mine who has gotten me into, this year I decided to put my physical well-being as a primary goal. Like, I'm going to the gym several times a week, working with a personal trainer, working on developing muscle, letting go of excess weight, and taking care of my body. And so one of the things I do is I take supplements. So Sydney, if you're watching, I'm taking your supplements for your fabulous hair, skin, and nails. I hope my hair looks great. My nails are strong. People tell me I look 30 when I'm 51. The Everyday Multivitamin. You can check out Sydney's website. I'm going to plug her website, sydneymarwellness.com. And I've had a lot of compliments. My hairdresser is totally surprised by my hi Laura, hi Jan, hi guys, Stacy. My hairdresser is surprised by my hair. I lost a lot of hair when I had that devastating breakup a couple of years ago, which I talked about last week. I lost a lot of hair due to the stress from the anxiety and stress from that breakup. And as a result, I love you too, Laura. I had to go to see a dermatologist, and Sydney gave me some vitamins, and I really found the difference between I had to get collagen injections in my head. So between the collagen injections, I'd say that had an impact too. And the vitamins definitely made my hair fuller and thicker. And my nails are stronger. My skin feels fabulous. So I feel all around better. I don't know, the supplements are really a good way for me to start my day in the morning. And because I'm taking the supplements, I start with protein. So I'm conscious of how I start my morning with what I eat. So I'll have yogurt and fresh berries, and I'll have some granola and a little bit of honey, and I'll start my day that way. Or I'll have some, on the weekend, sometimes I'll have eggs with toast or cheese. And so, even setting a practice for what you're eating on a habitual, making days that some days, like my trainer said to me yesterday, well, because I can be really hard on myself. And that's one of the things in terms of the mental, like, are you noticing how you think and what you say to yourself? And I'm consciously aware that I can be very hard on myself in terms of my expectations. And so my thoughts can sometimes be difficult with myself and saying I should do this, I didn't do that. And what she said was regards to the eating, because lately eating has been more difficult for me because work has been really stressful. And as a result, she said, well, why don't you take Sunday off and just not think about Sundays, and give yourself a day where you can eat whatever you want and just allow yourself, like, some people call it a cheat day, or just a day of self-indulgence where, you don't necessarily have to go crazy, but you can eat what you want, have a glass of wine with dinner, or just eat something more indulgent. And so during the week, for example, for me, it would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I would be really strict in terms of careful and watching and have a routine for what I'm eating. And then on Thursday and on Sundays, I'll be a little bit more lenient, because Thursday's my hardest day at work. So those are some of the things that I'm putting into place in terms of habits of watching how I eat, choosing healthier foods to eat, eating a little bit more fish, a little more protein and vegetables, and having salads, and choosing a salad with a scoop of tuna for lunch is for me a better choice with less bread. So that's some of the things that I'm putting in place. I'd say my biggest, for me, self-care, like, there's a ton of things that I think of that we can do to take care of ourselves. For one of them, like, is singing. One of the things that we do sometimes at work, we have a choir, but outside of the choir, we you know, sometimes we just, as staff, we just sing to let off tension, to get rid of stress. That's one of the things I do. I don't know if you guys love to sing, if that's something that is helpful to you, but for me, singing, it just, I don't know, it's a way to connect with joy. And anytime you're connecting with joy, you're at a higher vibration. For me, dancing too, like, because the community center that I work at, we have parties, and we're having a party on Tuesday, which I'm really excited about. And we have dancing. So we have a DJ, well, we are the DJ, and we play music, and we just dance. We dance and we sing. We have great food. So dancing is another way of stepping into joy and taking care of yourself, because the more you can connect with what feels good, and to me, self-care, the essential ingredient to self-care is obviously taking care of yourself in what's good for you. So whatever that might be for you, it could be different for other people. Some people hate meditation. I find meditation calms me and relaxes me. I try to do it often. I love journaling. Journaling is a huge way for me at the end of the day or the beginning of, you know, on the weekend, spending some time with myself, just reflecting and reconnecting with who I am. That's a huge thing for me. Nature. I mean, nature is an incredible opportunity to, first of all, get grounded. Nature's energy is so grounding that it gives us a true opportunity to feel connection, to connect to the earth. Nature is, whether you're in the forest, whether you're on the beach, whether you're in the mountains, is such an incredible opportunity to feel that visceral connection that is, you know, source. So yeah, I welcome you to, like, walk in nature as often as possible. Here in Quebec, it's a little bit cold, but even then, walking outside, you know, in the crisp snow with the sunny day is a beautiful opportunity to find connection. Another way for me that I practice self-care is breathing. I'm sure, like most of you, have this incredibly busy life, and sometimes we're just go, 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 go. Just taking a moment to breathe, like, that is an incredible. Hi, Janet. Thank you. Yeah, breathing is so powerful. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Oh my God. Okay, I don't know where that came from. So breathing is such a huge way to just, like, ground your energy and make you feel present. Like, for me, I hope I'm not coming down with something. Wow. I'm usually incredibly healthy and free of any colds throughout the year. So I want to talk about that, like breathing and even imagining, you know, the roots of trees at the bottom of your feet grounding into the earth. For me, that visual is so powerful. I don't know if any of you have ever done that it's just a quick visualization while you're walking, while you're sitting with your feet on the ground, with your feet connected to the earth. And I find when my mind is, like, so busy and my world is so busy, when I take a moment to breathe, everything gets still. I imagine the roots of the trees underneath my feet connecting to the center of the earth. And I actually imagine myself walking that way. So that, to me, is a really useful tool. What else do we have? So we have nature. We've talked, laughter. So laughter to me is, like, huge self-care. Go out to a comedy show, connect with people who are funny. For me, like that's like one of the number one qualities, if not, it's not number one, but it's up there in the top 3 qualities in something that I connect with in a relationship, like with a man. Because like, if you can't make me laugh, no. I need to laugh. Like my friends make me laugh. Even at work with the members, we always find opportunities to laugh. Laughter is such a healing, experience. It lifts your vibration. And I keep mentioning the word vibration, which might not be familiar with all of you, but we do have a vibrational scale, and I'll talk about that in another video. And self-care is doing things that help you one step at a time to lift you up from where you are, to take care of who you are. And that is the ultimate act of self-love, is taking care of yourself in all the areas. So I talked a little bit about nutrition and exercise. Laughter is huge. Nature, most definitely. Singing. And like physically, do you take a bath? Like for me, baths are like such a beautiful opportunity. And I love soaking in a hot bath with essential oils, with Epsom salts, with candles, just tuning out the world and just completely relaxing. For me, that is a beautiful way to unwind at the end of the day. It shifts. The Epsom salts actually physically do something to your energy that I'm not completely schooled on, but I can tell you that they do help. And it just calms you and relaxes you. I use lavender Epsom salts, and I find that is so completely relaxing at the end of the day. And for me, one of the favorite things that I do at the gym, my gym is like a spa. It's really actually affordable, and it has a pool, it has a hot tub, it has a sauna, and it has a steam room. So after my workout, and I work out really intensively for 45 minutes plus 20 minutes of cardio. So after that workout, I'm like ready to indulge in the hot tub for a while, the pool, the sauna, and the steam room. And for me, that's like going to a spa twice a week. And it's an incredible gift that I gift myself. So, even if you take yourself to a spa, get a massage, like those things are high on the list of self-care. Maybe, they have so many different deals these days between Groupon and all the different companies that are offering great specials. You can get a massage for even like as low as $20, $30. So that's something that is a great act of self-care. For some people who might not feel as comfortable with their body, it might not resonate, but getting a massage is such a great way of taking care of your body. So one of the things that I haven't talked a lot about, which is a huge passion of mine and something that I've been involved in for many, many years, is emotional self-care. And when I started on my journey of spiritual, curiosity, my focus was on spiritual development, and then it led me to a path of emotional healing, because I guess I had a fundamental flawed belief that I was broken and that I needed to be fixed. And through that flawed belief, I found a practice called the Journey, which is emotional healing. And emotional healing for me, that experience of emotional healing, diving in through guided visualization to heal your wounded cellular memories from your past, from experiences that may have happened in your past that are lodged in your body that can be released through the act of forgiveness through this practice called the Journey, was most profound experience that I've had in my years. And it is something that I maintain and I offer to other people. I've worked with clients doing emotional healing in this practice. Taking care of your emotional well-being is, to me, the epitome of self-care, because, and even I would say it is in parallel to for me, mental self-care as well, because how you notice your thoughts, and your thoughts become your feelings, and your feelings become your reality. So when you're consciously aware and you notice what you're thinking also. So it's what you're feeling is connected to what you're thinking, and what you're thinking over and over again becomes your beliefs, and this becomes your reality. So the emotional healing that I do is helping you to clear the experiences you had lodged in your body as cellular memory from traumas from the past. May have been based on a perception that you had of an event. And there's always opportunities to shift and reframe and look at the experiences that you've had from the past in a new way and offer forgiveness. And in the sense of the journey, for me, forgiveness is always really with yourself. I mean, although technically in the experience of the guided visualization, you may be forgiving somebody else. Ultimately, to me, there is only me. We are mirrors of ourselves. And so, so the journey is most definitely the deepest work that I've ever done, and it's something that I offer to clients to work on the emotional healing. So taking care of your emotional well-being is most likely, one of the most essential things that you can do to clear away the clutter from your past emotionally and live a life full of freedom, and living also, as I was talking about earlier, living in a high vibration. So when you're letting go of the emotional clutter, you're clearing yourself, you're more free. And you can also be aware of your mental clutter and clear your mental clutter. So be conscious of your thoughts. As I said to you earlier, I tend to be, or I'm going to be even conscious of that, I have been in the past hard on myself with how I'm thinking that I should do this, I should do that. Shoulding is challenging in itself. So being consciously aware of what you're thinking, when you catch it, you're thinking, oh, like for me, as living with someone who lives with a mental health challenge, I get depressed, and I have to physically change my thoughts, shift into like, oh, I'm feeling lonely, oh, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. I have to physically, consciously change my thoughts, move to a higher, vibrational thought, do things for self-care. I'll take a bath if I want to shift my energy. I'll spend time with friends. I didn't even mention that. Spending time with others and friends is a huge way of taking care of yourself. Like if you're someone like me who at the end of the day sometimes tends to isolate themselves, getting out there and being with friends after work at the end of the day on the weekend is a fabulous way of having connection in your life. And then that is a beautiful opportunity to take care of yourself. What else did I miss? One of the other things that I didn't talk about a little bit in terms of taking care of yourself mentally, I guess, and emotionally is boundaries. It's something that I mentioned briefly last week. And I would say boundaries are huge in terms of taking care of yourself. Taking care of your emotional space, your physical space. If any of you have ever had the, awful experience of physical abuse. I mean, learning how to say no and learning how to let people know what they can and cannot say to you, how they can treat you, is huge in taking care of yourself. And it's not always easy, without a doubt. I know saying no is difficult for some people at some times, but it gets easier with time. As you feel more comfortable saying no and speaking up for yourself, you'll see that the opportunities come less and less. I have one example in my life. A famous example is when I was working, I was in my 20s and I had a job opportunity, and one of the bosses I had left the job specifically go to a different job, and it was a well-known architectural firm in Toronto, and there was one partner who was just verbally abusive to the staff. And he was verbally and emotionally abusive to me at one time. I was working overtime, I was sick, just to get a job done to meet a client, a meeting with a client. And he was completely inappropriate with me, and I told him so. And I mean, it ended in the job ending shortly thereafter, but that was okay because I found a phenomenal job right after that, which allowed me to step into my power as a leader in my field and step into responsibilities that I loved. And And I never, after that, had a boss treat me disrespectfully ever again. So it took a lot of courage at that time, at a young age, to say, it's not okay to talk to me this way. It's not okay to treat me this way. I just won't tolerate it in the future going forward. And so for him, obviously, that must have been a time that must have been difficult. Most people don't speak up for themselves to people in power like that. But from then on, I only had phenomenal bosses. I've only had the great opportunity to work with people who treated me with incredible respect. So the way I see it is the universe will give you an opportunity to speak up for yourself. And if you do so and you set your boundaries, you most likely won't have that same experience again. You may have different ones, but the more you set your boundaries and you stay on course with where you want to go, and as entrepreneurs, we all know that there's always things, the shiny objects are always presenting themselves and we're always being led astray. But that's another part of self-care, is knowing your goals and your vision and your focus, knowing what's important to you and staying on that course, and not allowing other people to help you stray, or not help you, but to offer you the opportunity to stray from your vision and your goals and your focus. So I would say that those are opportunities for you to stay on track and stay on course and meet your goals. I think I've sort of not exhausted, but I've shared quite a bit about self-care, and next week we'll be going into self-care a little bit deeper with a few of the topics in depth. If there's any questions, or maybe if you want to share what you offer, what you do for self-care, or there are things that I missed that you want to share, jump in on the comments. I'm listening. I'd love to hear some of your self-care routines or practices that you want to offer that maybe I've missed or that you want to share. That would be awesome. While you do that, in the meantime, if you are going to jump on and do that, I'll just let you know that I am going to continue doing this every Sunday and dive in deeper to different topics of self-love. As I mentioned a few times, it's definitely my passion. It's something that I think is essential for every person. I mean, your life is a mirror of who you are, and the more work you do and the more care you take with yourself, the more you're going to experience, success in your life. So I am offering something for those of you who want to work one-on-one. I'm offering a one-hour session for $49. And if that's something, we can dive into looking at your self-care and your self-love practices and what your goals are, what your intentions are, where you want to go, and creating a plan for you. And if that's something that interests you, you can PM me, or you can write yes in the comments and I will follow up with you. And I guess that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And for those of you who aren't going to be joining me in the replay, thank you for watching in the replay. And that's it. And have a fabulous weekend. For me, my weekend starts today as I worked yesterday. And love you all. And I will catch you next weekend.